everything into it. Even though maybe sometimes customers may not understand or totally the story, if you understand the story, it fuels you to build more, create more into the story, more visuals, more designs, and brings it out, brings it more alive. And so that's what you want to do. Same with characters. Build that backstory, you flesh it out, and it's going to inspire you to add more, bring more features to your monsters and characters. And it may actually, like on the series, we had to recreate Patrick Thomas' alien characters, and his characters were like some cyborgs and aliens and creatures like that. But I was talking to him, and he told me, "What do you think about this character?" And look at it, and it was just this big, spiky looking dark creature. And I was like, "Well, it looks like it's from another planet, and that it's in the darkness, but it is blue." And I was like, "I actually would make it white, very sterile albino, because it's in the dark, and its eyes are really small, and so that white feel would be natural because the sunlight's never going to get to it." And so he was like, "That's exactly what I originally designed it to be, but the director wanted to go for a darker tone." So it's all about the environment, the backstory, where this character came from, and that also helps out a lot with your design. So, so if it is an albino character, doing an all white creature is very striking. Like, you don't really see that many. There's is it Beneath Still Waters? I don't know if any of y'all seen that film. It's an amazing, amazing creature that's all albino white creature, and its mouth. Always playing with features is a great thing. The character actually has its teeth on the jawline right here, and then the bottom jaw is on the neck. And this head is really big and bulbous, and it's long white hair, and it's great playing with anatomy and altering where you put mouths and eyes and features like that. That really, it's striking and it stands out a lot because it, like we're talking about visually, in mind is calibrated to be, here's the eyes, here's the nose, and the mouth, and you see that, and that's a person that can relate. But if it's not, it's somewhere else, it's like, I don't know, where's that from? What's its intentions? And that's what you constantly do. When you're dealing with horror, for me personally, you want to always question its intentions and always do something that you fear. Never do something that you think other people are going to be afraid of. Always judge it on your own fear. That's how I create my characters and what I think. Because I would look on set or at other artists and I'd be like, okay, they're making that. I can do something better than that. I would never do that. I would always do, how can I make this as unique and different from everyone else? That's the main thing. You never want to fit in or stay on the same level as other people. You always want to create from your own personal experience and never regurgitate what's already been done. But that's the best way I can explain for design in general, and only for the horror form. So I'd always go, do what you fear, and reach in for that specific style that you have, that unique vision and design. Um, with dealing with zombies, I usually, it depends on what degree of decay you're looking at. You've got like your like a fresh kill, so it's it's still flesh tones. Maybe you've just got some blood splattered and a little bit of blotchiness under the skin, makes it a little bit pale skin. Those are the most generic that you'll usually see people, and it's the most cheapest way to do it. You see zombie walks, people just throw blood all over stuff. That just basic makeup. Once you get to like a degree of decay, stage 2, stage 3, you're going for more prosthetic pieces. You're going for some of this. The cheekbones are protruding, so your eye sockets are sunken in more. You've got the area below the cheek is sinewy, torn up. A lot of designers usually bring the bridge of the nose to sink in a bit. So you'll have, and what you would do is you just build up. So whenever you want to sink in an area, you always build up above. So if you want the eyes sunk in, build the cheekbones up, build the brow up. You want the bridge of the nose to appear that it's starting to decay. So your nose is falling off. You build it up and bring the sinews down to the nose area. And then also you have to decide another great way is creating teeth, sculpting teeth on top of the lips is another great form of showing decay on a character. Um, uh, Personally, I love that look because it's, I mean, in The Walking Dead, you'll see that the bicycle girl, that's just amazing makeup. And they actually had like a dental appliance that went over their teeth that also was a prosthetic. So it went out over like acrylic. So I'm a big fan of doing teeth, always showing teeth. The only thing with makeup, we were doing that on set, and Glenn, a lot of the judges didn't personally like that because you have to get it. It's so hard to do because you're building out, but you also want a thin seam in on your lip because you want movement. And if you don't have movement, then it's just a mask. And so dealing with makeup, um, that's like a no-no, unless you have the dental appliances to pull into your teeth. But if you're dealing with a mask or something for Halloween or haunted house, you still want movement, but prosthetics are just really not that um, practical when you're dealing with that because there's constantly upkeep and it's falling, it's moving around. So it all depends on what your intention is for that personal makeup. So with zombies, I really love stage 3 in zombies. That full skeletal rotted look. I would say like from Creepshow, the Father's Day episode. If you've ever seen Creepshow, the Father's Day, I love that Tom Savini makeup when he comes out of the grave wanting his cake, and he's got like Rice Krispies and stuff. All the different things that they use to make that makeup. This is one of my all-time favorite zombie makeups. And Tarman from Return of the Living Dead, that real drippy, beautiful character. And that was one of the first times I've seen a wet zombie. Usually zombies are dusty and rotted, or they're fresh and they're bloody, but I've never seen them dripping wet. It was black and brown, and when I was young I saw this really stood out to me and really visually striking. And so it's always good to reinvent, redesign these characters. You take what works, and then you add a new ingredient on top of that. Like I think it's amazing to see like a bloody, wet, meaty zombie. Like it's very skeletal, but it's got like chunks of like we created this character. We called him Meat, and he was a skeletal zombie, and we just had chunks of like bulbous meat, almost like tumors that covered his whole body except for his skeletal face and his rib cage. And we would wrap him in saran wrap, and so you would see the blood come through and like the texture. So you always go for striking images and visuals that really cause some disturbing feel that you're like, why is that weird and disturbing to me? And it's like, oh, it's wrapped in like saran wrap, cellophane, like it looks like meat that you would get in the shop. So you put different degrees of ideas through your work that people will relate to, but they don't know why they relate to it. So it's almost psychological. It's building that character in the background, and that's when you have the best makeups and best designs, when you put these ideas into it and stories behind them. And so this character would walk around. We'd have him lay on the ground, and then people would just think it's this prop or piece, and then it would start shaking, or it would rise up, with his upper torso, and then he'd get up and start running after people. And his arms were really just saran wrap like that, but it looked like he was completely wrapped in saran wrap. So it's all about, I guess, playing tricks with the mind and fooling with people. It's bring that unknown factor into your makeup. And so from there, that's what I mainly deal with, these unknown creatures and zombies. Um, I've done some vampires, werewolves. I'm a big fan of the Rick Baker American Werewolf in London. That's one of the all-time amazing werewolf makeups. The Underworld makeup, I don't know, what y'all think about the lichens in Underworld? I thought they were well done, like Steve Wang designed some of those.
Beautiful work.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
amazing, but
yeah.
for me, it didn't feel, it felt like a hybrid, which some of them were hybrids.
Did you see Dog Soldiers?
Yeah, that's
That
amazing.